Welcome to Influential Sports, and today I'm going to be talking about WWE Smackdown and Survivor Series. And first, I'm going to start with Smackdown, just give a quick rundown of what happened going into Survivor Series Wargames. It started with Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Bianca, and Shotzi kicking off the show. Then Bayley would interrupt them, trying to cause rifts between the team, and it led to Bayley challenging Charlotte and Becky to a tag team match later that night. Then this match was all tag team matches. Next we had the Street Profits versus Judgment Day. It was the first match of the night for the Undisputed Tag titles. Judgment Day get the win here. Rhea Ripley interferes. Pretty much how most Judgment Day matches go. Then we had the Grayson Waller effect with Kevin Owens, and Austin Theory came out pretending to be Kevin Owens. Then they kept saying his name. Kevin Owens came out. He talks about how nobody knows the rules, that if you say a person's name twice, they'll come out. Then the same thing happened with LA Knight. They said his name multiple times. He ended up coming out. So LA Knight and Kevin Owens won a tag team match against Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. A pretty decent match. Good match for Smackdown. I enjoyed that. Then Carlito cut a promo. He started this as Santos Escobar in Spanish. This led to Santos coming out. They start brawling, and Santos beat Carlito to the point where he wouldn't be able to compete at Survivor Series, and Dragon Lee wanted to take that spot because he's the one to fight for Rhea. So Nick Aldis granted Dragon Lee his wish. Next we had Pretty Deadly versus the Brawling Brutes. On last week's SmackDown, there was a number one contenders tag team triple threat match, and Butch accidentally kicked Ridge Hollins. Then it led to this week. Ridge was very frustrated, and he ended up leaving Butch early on in the match. And Butch had a good showing for a 1-on-2. Obviously, Pretty Deadly won, but they all look good in this match. And then the main event, it was Bayley and Asuka getting the win over Becky Lynch and Charlotte. Kind of those riffs right there. It was a great match, good back and forth action. And while Becky was going for the pin on Bayley, Charlotte accidentally speared Asuka onto Becky, causing a rift to build between them, leading to Survivor Series. So SmackDown, all tag team matches, but it was a good show, solid show, just leading up to War Games. And then Survivor Series War Games. This, in my opinion, was the best pay-per-view and PLE, whatever you want to call it, for WWE this year. First, you had the Women's War Games match. It was Team Bianca that consisted of Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, Shotzi, and Charlotte Flair versus Damage Control, who had Bayley, Asuka, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane. A fantastic match of the night, in my opinion. Really enjoyed it. It's Shotzi, and she had a good showing. Her role is just to act crazy, and she did that, but she could tell in War Games she was taking it serious, as everybody should. Io Sky did the thing off the top of the cage, where she put the trash can on her head, then she took everybody out. And they used kendo sticks, they used chairs, they used a lot of different stuff. Bianca Belair was using her braids as a weapon, and this was a really fun match. And Team Bianca ended up winning, but I think Damage Control should have won this match. Like I said, it was match of the night, just based off of the performance alone from all 8 of these women. They look great. But I think Damage Control should have won this match because they're a newly formed group. The other team, Team Bianca, they're all established. Like Becky, Charlotte, Bianca, they didn't need this win. And Shotzi, we know what she does, and she's been going at it with Bailey and Damage Control for months. But I think with you bringing Asuka and Kairi Sane into Damage Control, they pick up the win here, and then you kind of build off of that, leading to them turning on Bailey. But this was a good match. Bailey just got attacked at the end of it. Like everybody on Damage Control's team was out, and Bailey was left for the pickings, and Team Bianca took advantage of that and won. Next, IC title match between Gunther and The Miz. This was a really good match. It was The Miz, one of the smarter and more veteran competitors. Gunther's pace. Miz started attacking the legs. He went for the legs early, which was smart. And Miz was actually able to take off the turnbuckle padding on the top rope, and which distracted the ref, allowing The Miz to low blow Gunther twice and hit the skull crush finale. But it wasn't enough to put Gunther away. But Gunther, he ended up winning the match. He had him in a Boston Crab at first, and Miz was going to reach for the ropes, but Gunther reversed the submission. I forgot what it was called, but he put his knee into Miz's back, causing him to tap out, which was a really great ending. Instead of him ending the match with the normal powerbomb he does and pinning his opponent to win, he ends it with a submission and just shows how dominant he is as champion. So really good win for Gunther, and The Miz looked good as well. The next match, Dragon Lee and Santos. This was a good match. Featured two luchadors. Both of these guys are getting pushed, and they both look good in this match. Santos was able to get the win. He took advantage from the start, but it became a great back and forth match. This match might not scream pay-per-view match, but it definitely delivered, and it felt like that. The end of the match, Santos hit a destroyer and a Phantom Driver to get the win. This was a very enjoyable match. Then the match that followed that was the women's world title match. Rhea Ripley defended her title against Zoey Stark. The trash talk started before the match could even begin. Zoey Stark, she got to work early. Rhea was doing her thing. Really great back and forth between these two women. They looked amazing this match. Zoey stood toe-to-toe with Rhea Ripley. She showed what she could do in the future, and I think Zoey will win a world championship one day. It was a few great spots in this match. Zoey's dropkick to Rhea out of the ring, and the DDT she did to Rhea on the apron. But once they got outside the ring again, that's when Rhea started to take advantage of the match again. But this was a really good match. They both counted each other's finisher once, but Rhea hit the riptide to get the win, and she continues her reign as World Women's Champion. Also a good match. All the women delivered tonight. They all had great showings. Then we get to the main event, which was the men's Wargames match. So you had Judgment Day and Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, and Randy Orton, who Randy still wasn't here by the time that the match had started. When Seth and Finn got in the ring, Randy wasn't in the shark cage. Nobody knew where he was at. So Seth and Finn get the match started, and Judgment Day has the advantage for this match, so they're able to beat up on Team Cody for a little bit. They get some kendo sticks. There's a pipe in between the cage for some reason, which, okay. The story for Judgment Day is Will Priest and Drew work together. So once Drew McIntyre saw Jey Uso in the cage, he wanted to get into War Games as soon as possible. But Priest stopped that and said, "We stick to the plan." So Priest went to the ring when it was Judgment Day's turn for the next person to enter. Then when Seth and Cody were in the ring at the same time, like they said, they just need to be partners for one night, and they both had the bull rope and wanted to use it, so they decided to work together. So these teams really going back and forth. The advantage matters so much in Wargames because Judgment Day they're able to get an upper hand, and that leaves the other team, at least Team Cody, having to do more work. But this was a really good match. You had Judgment Day all standing tall at one point. And yeah, so Dom had gave the Judgment Day the final advantage before it was time for Randy to come out if he did show up. Judgment Day had saved Dominic from being powerbombed, and they beat up on Team Cody. Then it's time for Randy to come out, and Rhea Ripley runs down to the ring with Damian Priest's briefcase and try to cash in, and that is when Randy Orton's music hits. The Viper has returned, and he's back. And now Rhea doesn't cash in, so Priest still has the briefcase. And Randy Orton, he gets in there, he does the power slams and whatever. And he's looking good, he's looking dominant. He's getting ready for an RKO, then he looks towards Jay. And this gets very interesting because they have a bit of a stare down. But if I'm not mistaken, Jay super kicked Damian Priest and stopped him from hitting Randy Orton. He had hit Priest with a super kick. And then it went from that to a stomp, to a Sammy Haluva kick, to a Uso splash, and Team Cody was dominating. Judgment Day was down. Team Cody surrounded JD McDonough, and he had to catch Seth, and with JD McDonough, he was on the top of the cage, and he caught an RKO from Randy Orton, and Cody Rhodes pinned Damian Priest. So Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, Jay, Seth, and Sammy, they won. They won the men's Wargames match. Randy didn't RKO Jay as some people thought he would after the match. He didn't RKO Cody as some people thought he might turn heel. But then they're still in the ring, and they haven't went off yet. And they're in Chicago, so the fans always want one thing when they're in Chicago, and that is CM Punk. And CM Punk did indeed return to WWE tonight, or last night at the time of making this. So CM Punk is back in WWE. A clip came out hours after that of Seth Rollins being very unhappy because he has real life issues with CM Punk. But I think CM Punk being back, it's a great business decision. And and next year's Royal Rumble will come down to him or Gunther. And it will probably be CM Punk winning it to take on Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. So CM Punk is back, and Survivor Series, like I said, best pay-per-view for WWE this year. You had Randy Orton return, you had CM Punk return, and both the women's matches were amazing. They delivered. All the men's matches, they were like most of these matches, if you put them on a different pay-per-view, they could be competing for match of the night. But I'm going to go with the women's Wargames match as the best match of the night. And I almost forgot about one return. They did. They have a sponsorship with Ruffles, so they got to get that across. So Otis and Pretty Deadly are going back and forth about, is it Chips or is it Chris? And a very funny segment, especially when R-Truth came in out of nowhere making his return saying the Ruffles. It was a very funny segment. R-Truth is a funny guy. So yeah, Randy Orton, CM Punk, and R-Truth all return in the same night. Survivor Series was great. Please like, comment, and subscribe.